Up next on the Tesla Plaid channel. Last week we received the track mode update, and we didn't get a chance to use it out of Bradenton because the staging lanes were 90 minutes to 2 hours long. And when you finally get up to the starting line and you've got a fire-breathing beast in the lane next to you that's either doing wheelies like the Firebird, or it's got over 900 horsepower like the Red-Eye Charger and the Red-Eye Challenger that I raced, I'm not going to be futzing around with new modes that I've never tried before. So we went out there, we won those races, and now we're going to Showtime tonight. That'll give us a chance to try the new track mode features, because it's much easier to get a lot of runs out there, pretty much as many runs as you want to make, with very short staging lanes. So we're going to try out various features while we're at the track, and at the end of this video I'll go through the track mode settings in detail. Don't want to bore you with all those now, many of you are already familiar with them. But let's go out and race, and then we'll review this screen in detail. All right, first run for the Plaid tonight is this drag truck. Looks like a Chevy. It's got big Hoosier drag radials. QuickTime Pros. It's a good looking truck. All right, we plan to test track mode on this first pass, but we got lined up with an interesting looking truck, so we went to drag strip mode instead, and we're at peak performance ready now. We've let it warm up. Track's only been open for a few cars, so I'm expecting good traction here. Let's try to make the best pass we can if we can get staged up. Oh, it's not going to let us. Forget it. Looks like a 0.1 reaction, tenth of a second. Looks like a 0.1 reaction, tenth of a second. And I thought maybe that truck had something going, but not on that pass. Be a good baseline anyway to see how the car's performing tonight. We made that pass with 93%. It's still showing 92 at this point. If we can't get right lined up with a good race, then we'll make a test pass in track mode. Hey there.
Oh, hello.
How's it going tonight?
621.
Okay, starting point. Thank you. So we ran a 621 at 118.9 miles an hour. The truck ran a 720 at 94 miles an hour. He clearly wasn't shooting for a reaction time. I had a 0.100. Let's see if I can do all tenth of a second or less tonight, even when I'm in launch control. That'll be my goal. All right, it's worth mentioning that we've got the Pirellis back on the back of this car. We needed to put those on for the night out at Bradenton, and we didn't bother putting the Nittos back on because we want to do some baseline testing of track mode with the Pirellis, so we'd see what it does on the stock tires, and then based on that decide if we want to use some of these features with the Nittos. All right, we're going to try a track mode pass. We're going to set everything up to the top setting because we want to see if we can maybe spin the tires. We're 100% rear bias. We want all the stability, and of course we want all the regen. So the first question is whether it will do a burnout on these tires in the water box with 100% rear bias, because if it won't spin these tires, then it's definitely not going to spin the Nittos. How's it going, Roger?
Hello.
Hey, I'm going to test track mode on this pass. You're welcome to still go down if you want to next to me, but I have no idea what the car's going to do. Yeah, go for it. It'll be a good baseline. All right, this isn't so much a race per se, but the red Plaid next to us will kind of serve as a baseline. We'll see if the car's like going any faster or slower than it otherwise would. First thing I notice is the car is rolling Let's see what it does here in the burnout box. All right, a little bit of action out of those tires.
And I'll be with you all week here on Backstage.
Gonna drop it?
No, I'm trying a different mode that's supposed to allow a burnout now. We'll see
really?
if it works.
Well, we got our good stuff back now, though.
Yeah, and I'm gonna launch it on that and see if it actually will spin.
Okay.
I'm in a mode where it doesn't cut the power off, you know what I mean? Okay, let's see what we get here. I completely don't know what to expect. Here we go. No, it's still going. That's a good power. No, it's still going. That's a good power. I'd be surprised if that's 100% rear. That couldn't possibly be 100% rear and still give us that kind of run. Suspension is really stiff. I'm like bouncing off the glass here. I don't know if you heard my helmet hit the glass. The car feels completely different. But it felt like a good pass otherwise. I don't know how it compares to that last 620 pass. I'm going to take it out of this mode.
625.
About the same. Thank you.
Close.
So in track mode with 100% rear bias, we ran a 625 at 117.1, so the mile an hour was less. Interestingly, the red Plaid next to us ran a 622, slightly better ET, also 117 miles an hour. Not quite on the tree. I had an 07, looks like he had a 0.29. Interesting time slip. As you see it there, how similar those passes were. And he was in straight Plaid mode, and I was in track mode set to 100% rear bias. Very interesting. Does it really not give any power to the front motors on that pass? Hard to tell. Let's see what else we can find out from the red Plaid. So Roger, you were in Plaid mode on that pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ran that in track mode with 100% rear bias. I'd be really surprised if it didn't send any power to the front motors, because we ran almost identical ETs, almost identical mile an hour too, both 117 something. I was at 625, you were at 622.
Yeah, I just got to learn how to get a reaction time.
Yeah. So reaction time aside, thankfully that's not included in the ET number. I'd be really surprised if the car didn't send any power to the front motor. I mean, I don't have any real way of telling on that pass. Maybe some of those.
We didn't get any information on what track mode even is, did we?
Well, the slider, what I set the slider for a bias, front to rear, to be 100% rear bias. So to me that says that it's going to give more torque to the back tires than it normally would, and less to the front.
Yeah.
And it doesn't know if I'm going to straightaway on a, a road course or on a drag strip.
It doesn't seem possible that the times would be that similar.
Yeah.
With going from whatever the ratio was to 100% rear.
It doesn't seem like it. There were other significant differences. The suspension was completely different. My helmet was bouncing off the glass, which it doesn't normally do. The car wouldn't hold at the light. As I'm rolling up, normally, you've got that whole 100% regen and the thing wants to stop. Very easy to stop before the light. Just tap the accelerator to get in. This thing was just rolling away.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make complete sense because I've got it set to 100% regen. So track mode has got a lot more differences than I expected. And yet, the same essential ET in mile an hour.
But there was no readme on it when it got downloaded
not very
for cars.
much. Yeah, just a couple sentences.
Yeah.
But we'll certainly figure it out. It did give me a little more tire spin than I expected there. You probably heard it as I came out of the box. It wouldn't let me, power brake it. It wouldn't let me hold the fronts and spin. The only way I could get the tires to do anything. It has that normal thing where you can't touch both pedals at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. So I had to be off both pedals miles, and then if I just dab it, I was getting a little bit of tire spin out of it. Not a ton, but interesting pass.
Yeah.
Thanks for being the baseline or the bunny rabbit or whatever you want to call it to kind of be side by side.
Sure.
And we'll experiment with it more. But meantime, there's some beasts out here. Look at this Camaro. And unfortunately, one of the faster cars was that Thunderbird that blew its engine half track. But maybe that yellow Vega will run one of us.
Would you?
Try to get lined up with him. I've seen this yellow Vega make some 6.0 passes out here. Shape there on the launch, kind of pushed left. Still ran a 699 at only 71 miles an hour. All right, we're going to go down against the yellow Vega for the first time. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any GoPros on that side of the car right now, so we didn't have time to warm up the battery. We just saw him come around the corner and decided to jump into this empty lane next to him. All right, let's see what we got. Now, they did have some problems in this lane earlier, so let's see if I can get into launch control here. All right, looking good. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, 001! Is that for real? Oh, 001! Is that for real? Couple lines missing from the scoreboard there on its 7-segment display. I hope that was a 001. Can't be 100% sure until I see that time slip. That yellow Vega is always cutting great lights out here. I saw he had an 030 on the board, but he had some kind of an issue and got out of it. Thankfully we didn't red light, because that would have been a waste. I knew we needed a good light. Drag strip mode still says 2 minutes remaining for peak performance. I'll take it out of there. How'd I do?
608.
608, nice. I think the printer might need more ink.
That's what I'm thinking too, because I'm even in bright light, I'm having a hard time seeing it.
But you know what I like best about this time slip?
What's that?
My reaction. 00. I was really, yeah. I knew that guy was good on the tree. He had an 03. It looked like an 030.
Yeah, but you have double, and the lowest one I've seen tonight.
Yeah. I've had 1 000 and over 1,000 time slips, so I know how rare those are. But,
yeah, I was just saying, I had one here. I think it was last year in January.
Yeah.
And it was a 0.0002.
Cool. Thanks. So what I saw as a 001 on the board was actually a 007. We had a 007 out here a couple weeks ago against Barry's Firebird, and it's an odd coincidence that my next 00 was also a 007. It's that James Bond thing, I guess. So we ran a 608 at 118.8 with a 007 reaction and a 402 to half track, a 149 60 foot, and the yellow Vega with an 030 reaction, but only a 184 60 foot, ran a 720 and 90.6. So he got out of it. I've seen that car run 6.0s before. Sorry you couldn't give us a better run, but I had fun on that pass nonetheless. This Vega's all out, as you can see. Big tire slicks, chute, center. How's it going? You're pushing left again, huh?
It went left that time, right?
I saw, yeah, you went left.
Yeah, the first time, and then it went right.
Oh, man.
I know. Did you watch it just pass?
I only watched the last pass. I was next to you on your first of the two.
Yeah.
I was in the blue car next to you.
Oh no, I blew the tranny down at the in Bradenton.
Did you? In the last couple
and
weeks?
I kept telling him, I said, this car for the motor,
Yeah.
106 mile an hour ain't shit for a 580.
Yeah. No, it absolutely isn't.
Not even close.
I'm running 6.0s at 120, so yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
so I said we were down in Bradenton,
Yeah.
and the first time I went to take off, it blew the tranny out of me.
Is it a Glide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did the glide over it, and this was the first time trying it out. But I believe that car will probably, I mean, from what it feels like now, we adjusted the chassis to that to before.
Yeah.
Now it's all out of whack.
Yeah. What gear have you got in the back?
488.
A 48. Okay. Yeah.
But just by the way it feels like right now,
Yeah.
I think that car will go 560s.
But
We offset the rear, everything. We put rear steer in it and everything.
yeah.
So now I think I got to go back to all neutral.
Yeah.
This motor ain't no slouch.
Yeah.
This is a good motor.
What's the build? What's the setup?
This is a 406.
A 406 small block and naturally aspirated.
It's injected on alcohol.
Oh, and alcohol. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
High compression.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
So, well, this motor here has only got like 13
Okay.
to 1s.
Yeah.
My other ones always had 14 to 1s.
Okay. Does DA affect you as much? The temperature
You know, I
and
haven't
humidity?
had time really to tune it in right.
Okay.
It took me, I swear to God, 6 months to get that and run consistent.
Yeah.
That's how long it took me to tune that.
Yeah.
But now we know where it's gonna go.
Yeah. Pretty reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll go.
Yeah.
It'll go 508
Yeah.
to 517.
Okay.
Depending on the air.
On the air.
But wherever you make a hit and
Yeah.
it goes,
Yeah.
you're within two
Hundreds on the next pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I hope you get it straightened out.
I do too.
Kind of literally straight. Yeah. So he's talking about the different motors he's had in his car over time, and that this setup will do a 124 60 foot, and the previous motor would do a 117. It's quite a race car. All right, we're not finding that many competitive races. There's only a couple real fast cars out here, and they've made one pass in 2.5 hours each. And I usually like to let those cars make a test pass. My car is fairly reliable. A lot of those trailered cars, big tire slicks, they need a couple passes to sort things out, and I don't want to just jump in and line up against them. This 5-liter Mustang's on a drag radial and skinnies in the front. I have not seen this Mustang make a pass before, but I'm thinking Plaid mode might be plenty enough. All right, we're not using launch control or anything. We're gonna just stab it here in a second. 04 reaction. And did the Mustang ever leave the starting line? I don't see the Mustang anywhere. He must have not left the starting line. That felt like a really strong pull for just straight Plaid mode. Didn't warm up the battery. Obviously didn't attempt launch control. You can't use launch control in Plaid mode. But it felt like a pass in the 610s. Yellow, wait a minute. I didn't get a yellow one.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, he must have my white slip.
No, I have it right here. Wait a minute.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't that Mustang ever come through that I raced?
He came through and he's like, you can have mine.
Oh, okay.
No, because his was, his was 1134. He was not happy with it.
I don't think he ever left the starting line. All right, cool. Thanks.
Yep.
We ran a 620. I thought it would be something in the 610s, but 620 at 118.9. Good mile an hour there, almost 119, with an 04 reaction, and it looks like a 155 60 foot. Felt a little quicker than a 155, but nothing to sneeze at, and that was just straight Plaid mode, no launch control. It was a fun night of racing. We ran some 6.0s, we ran some 620s. We're leaving the track with 83%. You know, when we warm it up and use launch control, get good traction, we're in the 6.0s consistently. And if you add a reaction time of 00 or 01 to that, times under 610 are pretty hard to beat, even for some of these 590 cars, depending on how experienced the driver is and what reaction times he's cutting. I had fun kind of setting that challenge for myself to run under a 1/10 of a second on every reaction time. Good times. I really enjoy coming out to the 8th mile track. Hope you guys are enjoying it too. Showtime Dragstrip, January 5th, 2022. And I can tell you the track prep smells a lot different than the last few weeks. I think they've got the PJ1 back, if I'm not mistaken. Got some interesting looking cars out here tonight. We got this 69 Camaro on big tires. Haven't seen it out here before. I'm looking forward to seeing it make its first pass. And then we got some Hoosier slicks on the back of this Mustang. My buddy Mike's back with his blown F-150 that we raced last week. Let's see if we can get into the low 6s tonight. I had a 69 Rally Sport. Only car in my life I wrecked. Sad story that was, but for another day. Those are some big tire slicks, without a doubt. Yeah, that's the same Rally Sport logo I had, the RS, on my Camaro. Obviously there's like a fiberglass front end on here. I'm gonna take the Camaro over the Mustang. 557 for the Camaro, and only 107 miles an hour. He must have been out of it. So that's looking like a low 5-second car. Truck had a good reaction, but not a good pass. We made a pass with this drag truck before, but he hadn't figured out his tune yet. Wasn't competitive with the Plaid yet, but once this guy's got it figured out, he's got tires for days. This Mustang's been making some 6-second passes here tonight, so good a place as any to start it up. Alright, drag strip mode still says it needs a couple minutes, but we're gonna use launch mode anyway. Alright, here we go. Come on. 09 reaction, a little bit of slip. It's cold out here tonight, but there's a cold breeze blowing, and this cold air will help out the other cars, but makes our tires a little harder, and since we can't warm them up, it's going to be a disadvantage to us tonight. Hey Austin, they got you out here.
Right now,
yeah.
From my mom.
Where's
to take a bathroom break.
Where's Tom been?
He's off this month.
Oh, okay.
He does his drag bike this month.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Thanks, Austin.
No problem.
On that pass, we ran a 608 at 119.8 with a 149 60 foot and an 09 reaction. So that's one of the faster passes we've made on these Nitto NT01 tires. That's encouraging because most of the passes in the last 2-3 sessions where we've had these Nittos on have been 610s to 620s, even under otherwise optimal conditions, launch control, etc. Mustang ran a 671 at 108.1 miles an hour with a 157 60 foot. It didn't launch from the tree though, it was a second after green, which is why we were a second and a half apart at the finish line. Let's see if we can find anybody else out here who's fast. We're at peak performance ready, so I'm gonna make a pass. I didn't see any fast cars coming around the corner, so looks like we're just lined up with this Volkswagen. We're going for a low 6.0 on this pass. I'm gonna actually kind of ignore this guy because I want this to be fully ready here on this launch. Preparing for launch. Yeah, ready to launch. Oh yeah, that's a good launch. That should be a low 6.0. How'd we do on that one?
609.
609.
It's still down in the low part.
Anything 6.0 is good.
Yes. So at 620s.
Exactly. Everything tonight in the 6.0s, where the drag strip mode was fully heated up, it's the slowest pass of the night. We are at 89% now, but usually it doesn't really slow down until it gets below about 85%. We ran a 609 at 119.4 with a 151 60 foot. So that's where we lost our time, was in those first 60 feet. I wasn't paying any attention to the Volkswagen, but he ran a 789 and 94.7, which is pretty darn good for a Volkswagen. So this Mustang's got a Vortech supercharger in it with about 10 pounds of boost. Big Hoosier drag radials. How's the Mustang running tonight? Yeah? You have a blower or turbo or?
Blower, yeah. Vortech. Like 10 pounds, nothing crazy.
But you got some tires on it. All right, they were just cleaning up the track. Didn't have enough time to get back into drag strip mode, peak performance ready yet. We'll be a couple minutes away, that's fine. Let's see what we can get here. And nope, we're not gonna get it. Nope. Oh, car totally bogged out of a hole. That sucks. You could hear the beeps when launch mode failed, and then it makes you do a pedal reset and get off both pedals, and then it makes you wait before you can do anything again. So we completely mislaunched the car there. We'll have a horrible 60 foot. Bit of a wasted run, but we'll make another.
Burr.
Cold out there, huh?
Yep. 640.
Yeah, I had a horrible launch. Worst one in forever.
Yeah.
At 640 at 119 miles an hour, so the mile an hour still came on at the end. It's like a 177 60 foot. Pretty bad pass. I'm glad we didn't have a really fast monster next to us that would have beat us. I ran a 640, I mislaunched it.
Oh, it's a 60.
Yours was 180, but mine horrible, 177. I've been 150s all night, but I mislaunched it. So almost the same 60 foot. Now we're gonna line up with the Vega. Okay, let's not misstage it this time. All right, we're good. Launch control, working. There we go. Oh, he's right with me. There we go. Oh, he's right with me. But he doesn't have the top end. That's a quick, lightweight car. Remember, he's got a 454 crate motor in that Vega. 6.0 something?
612.
612.
Reaction point 11.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
The track seemed okay. I think the car is just slowing down now that we're down to 86% battery. We ran a 612 at 120.2, so the mile an hour is there. 60 foot was 152. The Vega out 60 footed us with a 146, and he ran a 662 at 102.9 miles an hour. I had a 0.11 reaction to his 0.20. Margin at the finish line, 0.59. So a little more than a half a second. Fun run. This BMW M5 that's just here in front of us just blew its tranny. I'm just turning the car so you can see the offender. So the track's shut down for the moment. It'll probably be at least 30 minutes before they reopen it. You can see there's a long line of cars, so good times. We'll see you next time right here on the Tesla Plaid channel. Alright, let's look at the track mode features. The release notes for track mode say that this optimizes your Plaid configuration for dynamic driving exclusively on closed courses and experience the unmatched performance at many different venues. To enable, tap controls, pedals and steering, track mode. The 4 bullets here, thermals. The heat pump system cools more aggressively, maximizing powertrain endurance and performance. Enable post-drive cooling to shorten wait times between sessions. Drive systems. Torque vectoring authority is increased across the 3 motors, elevating the vehicle's agility and cornering capability. The accelerator pedal allows more precise torque control, and regenerative braking power is strengthened to recover more energy. Suspension. Adaptive damping reduces vehicle motions, improving handling and promoting driver confidence. Ride height is automatically set to low upon drive off. And display, a track-focused interface includes a lap timer, G-force meter, real-time accelerometer, vehicle thermals monitor, dash cam video capture, vehicle telemetry capture, and offers customization options. So in the track mode settings menu, there's 2 presets, the race preset and the drift preset, and there's 6 total settings, 3 sliders and 3 toggles. The 3 sliders start out with handling balance, and that allows you to adjust torque and regenerative braking power distribution between the front and rear motors. Higher front bias results in increased understeer, while higher rear motor bias results in increased oversteer. Not sure how this might be helpful at the drag strip. I'm going to try setting that up to 100% rear bias and see if that might allow us to do a burnout or to warm up the tires in the water box. You'll notice that in the drift preset, it sets it to 100% rear bias. You can always create a preset of your own. Stability assist automatically brakes and distributes torque to prevent skidding or spinning out. Higher values offer more assistance when needed, and lower values allow more freedom. This is not something I'd like to mess with at the drag strip. The only time I'm going to need stability assist at the drag strip is if I get out of shape, and in that case I want the car to help out and give us some stability control. Remember, the stability control on computer controlled cars like this is far more intelligent and far more capable than any driver. And I'm sure there's some drivers out there that say, oh, I can do better than the computer. Well, here's what you can't do. You can't tell the left rear brake to brake on that one tire only. You've got one pedal controlling all 4 brakes. So no matter how skillfully or how carefully you touch that brake pedal, you're going to be applying the brakes to all 4 brakes, all 4 tires. And obviously, if the computer senses that you're in a yaw situation where you need to apply just one rear brake, right or left, to get the car back into shape, the stability assist can do that, and you can't. Regenerative braking adjusts regenerative braking power from 0 to 100%. High regenerative braking returns more energy to the battery and reduces the likelihood of your brakes overheating, always a good thing, and generally results in reduced wear on brakes. Tesla recommends setting to 100%. Absolutely, at the drag strip, I'm going to want that at 100% and 100% only. And then the 3 toggles, post-drive cooling, allows you to continue to cool the powertrain between laps while you're away from the car. This shortens recovery time for your next session, but consumes additional energy and generates noise. The brake temperatures toggle displays brake temperatures and warnings, and save dash cam for laps. When save dash cam for laps is enabled, the track mode stores a video of your driving session while using the lap timer in addition to the car's telemetry data. Save dash cam for laps requires a supported USB drive plugged into your car. Of course, we've got one of those, so that'll be interesting to see exactly what it saves along with the video. So you can see on the two presets, the race preset is set 50-50 handling balance, stability assist in the middle, and regenerative braking at 100% with the 3 toggles set to on. The drift preset also has the 3 toggles on, but the handling balance is set to 100% to the rear motors. Stability assist is completely turned off, and regenerative braking is still at 100%. So just flipping back and forth between those two, only the first 2 sliders are any different. So I'll create a new profile right now, and I'm going to call it Drag Radials Burnout. Okay, this is something I want to do on street tires. I'm going to set the handling balance to 100%. I'm going to leave the stability assist in the middle. Actually, I'm going to increase that. So stability assist, I'm going to set all the way to the top. I'm going to set regenerative braking all the way to 100%. And that is our Drag Radials Burnout setting here under the track mode settings.